going on, guys? How we doing? Mr. 46 back in action. Now, I know I didn't have a video this past week, but I got caught up with a bunch of stuff. Here I am at work. As you see, the Gamecock decorations there, Dolphins flag. I am a big Dolphins fan. We had a big win, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. We're here to talk about this past week in college football, South Carolina's playoff chances, and rivalry week, and why I hate Clemson. Let's start with the upsets, though. Crazy week of college football. Texas A&M, a playoff hopeful, goes down. So that game against Texas, really, if they win, I don't think they get in because of the loss to Auburn, and Auburn is a putrid team. So that's that. But another big loss, Alabama gets smoked by Oklahoma. Now, I did say this. I did say that Florida's a scary team with Lagway. For those who don't know, DJ Lagway was a 5-star quarterback. The top-rated quarterback coming in. I don't know why he went to Florida. I was kind of confused, but he went to Florida. He's changing the team around. Napier looks like he's not a complete imbecile anymore because Lagway is saving his job. But DJ Lagway, when he plays, is 4-0 now. When he plays the full game, the guy is a superstar. Really is. A very talented freshman. You'll probably see him be the number 1 overall pick in 2 years when he's eligible for the NFL draft. He is that good. I called them beating Ole Miss. Going to the Swamp, man, that was not an easy place to play. I was like, they're going to beat Ole Miss. They beat LSU last week pretty handily. Brian Kelly was having a meltdown on the sideline, saying guys are uncoachable, and that's what Lagway and the boys did to LSU. They ruined them, kind of. But even though LSU beat Vanderbilt, but that's here nor there. But, yeah, Florida beats Ole Miss. So Ole Miss has 3 losses, A&M has 3 losses, and Bama, like I said, lost to Oklahoma, who, listen, they have a good defense, they have a good front 7, but Oklahoma could not score the ball, except for that night. They scored and they stopped Alabama, they shut that down. So, crazy week. Also, a team people need to start watching is Arizona State. Arizona State is really, really, really on fire. They just beat BYU this past week, and they seem like they're ready to roll into the playoff, man. They win that conference, they're in. So people got to really keep an eye on Arizona State. That young coach, Dillingham, he's pretty sharp. He's got them boys playing. So shout out to Arizona State. Now moving on to my team, South Carolina Gamecocks, our playoff chances and what I think. So I'm in a group chat. We're talking South Carolina football a bunch of times, and one of my buddies, Big Train, he said South Carolina, if they beat Clemson, they have a 60% chance to get to the playoff. Now, a bunch of people are tweeting South Carolina's a playoff team. South Carolina beat Clemson. You got to throw them in. Indiana, even though they have 1 loss, South Carolina would beat the brakes off Indiana, which I agree with. But Indiana should not be punished for losing to Ohio State on the road. One of the hardest places to play. And you lose on the road. Everyone's like, oh, they didn't cover the spread, this and that. It's like, who wouldn't go into Ohio State and get boat raced? Okay, like seriously, let's get real here. Okay, going to Ohio State, the horseshoe, Indiana. Everyone knew they didn't have the athletes to match up with Ohio State. Maybe if it was in Indiana, it'd be a closer game. But everyone knew Indiana was going to lose that game. Okay. I don't know people who thought they were going to win. I really didn't. I know a single soul that looked me in the eyes and said, I think Indiana's going to win that game. Everyone knew Ohio State was going to win at home. Okay, there's a better team, better athletes. They've recruited at such a high level that there's no reason Indiana should even make that game competitive. I'm just being honest. Okay, but it is college football, and you never know. But it turned out they proved me right. So it is what it is. But South Carolina, 3 losses. Right now, those losses to Bama and Ole Miss do not look good. The loss to LSU looks not good at all either. We really should have beaten LSU. I've said it a bunch of times. We should have beaten Alabama. I think we're better than those teams, but they beat us that day. They were better that day. LSU with the refs and just insanity happening beat us. Alabama, Sellers, a couple of freshman mistakes, but he's kind of figured out a little bit, knock on wood. But, yeah, I don't know. South Carolina beats Clemson. I think we should get in, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But that's that. I know a lot of people, Dan Orlovsky tweeted South Carolina needs to be in. One of the guys, he does a big college football podcast, Adam Brenneman, he said, that South Carolina is a playoff team, which I think we have the talent. I think the quarterback play is playoff caliber. I think we definitely have the defense for sure. But we'll see, Is what it is. Got to put pressure on the committee, right? We can't complain about, we're a playoff team. Sorry. And then lose to Clemson. You just can't do that. So going forward, let's beat Clemson. Let's put pressure on the committee. Let's see what they can do. And I say we, because I'm a part of it. I'm in the Gamecock Club. I'm a huge Carolina fan. Been for years. So I am part of this. Okay, you can say what you want about, you're not on the team, this and that. No, we, us as South Carolina, got to beat Clemson. Okay, so that's down in South Carolina. Next week, huge week in college football. We got Rivalry week. We got, in my eyes, the biggest game of the week, South Carolina Clemson. So I may have some Clemson people on the show. I'm going to have to talk to them, see how we can set this up. But I am trying to get Clemson people on the show for this week, doing the game picks. We're going to pick Texas A&M, Texas. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. So be in tune for that, because this is a huge week in college football. Clemson, Carolina, that could be a playoff play-in game. A&M and Texas haven't played since 2011, is it? Because Justin Tucker hit the field goal in 2011 and Ryan Tannehill. So that's how long Texas and Texas A&M have not played each other. Justin Tucker was the kicker for Texas and made the game-winning kick. Ryan Tannehill, who is out of the league right now in the NFL, good quarterback in the NFL for a little bit, but he's out of the league right now. Okay, he's not on a team. All right, he was the quarterback for Texas A&M in 2011. And then these two, because A&M left for the SEC, Texas stayed in the Big 12. These two teams just refused to play, which is disrespectful to the game of college football, because those teams should have played every year. But A&M was like, we can't have another out-of-conference game like that, because it would be a loss. Or a loss for Texas, because Texas was a little down during that time. But that's ridiculous, because South Carolina left the ACC in the 70s, and they still played Clemson every year, even though South Carolina was independent. They still played Clemson every year. South Carolina never made excuses about, we can't do that, we can't do that. No, because South Carolina and Clemson should play every year. They have to play. That is a huge rivalry. It means a lot to the state of South Carolina. The amount of money the state of South Carolina makes from that game is insane, okay? You're going to see half the state Carolina, half the state Clemson. This is how it is. A&M in Texas, I understand Texas is a big state. It's not as small as South Carolina, but that game should have been played every year. It's ridiculous that it took so long to get it back, but I'm glad it's back. I'm not going to tell you who I have winning. I'm going to say that for the next video. There's that game. Let's see, Ohio State, Michigan. I'm going to talk about that game. Really, Ohio State should boat race Michigan. Michigan's having a down year, even though they did get the number one quarterback, Bryce Underwood, 5-star. He flipped from LSU to Michigan. So that's a win for Michigan, but this year I don't know if they're going to beat Ohio State. It's a tough game for them, and they lost a lot. So that's that. Any other games I can think of? Arizona State. Now, it's not that's a game to watch, because Arizona State's rolling, and Arizona is talented. So we got to watch that game there to see if Arizona State, are they going to choke, or are they going to win that game? So I'm going to look at all the games and the slates. I'm going to pick these games just like I usually do, kind of like my other videos where I do the predictions. But I am trying to get Clemson fans on the show. So we'll see how that goes. With that being said, if you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Really, I enjoy doing these videos. This is what I love to do, and I would love to keep doing it and get my name out there. So if you could, subscribe, stay in tune for the next video. Mr. 46 is out.